Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today I'm talking about my favorite phone of 2024. Now, this includes both smartphones, regular candy shape, and foldables. It has to be the Honor V3 that I feel has been the most revolutionary and the best device available at this time right now. And is it something you should buy in 2025? Let's talk about it in more detail. Let's get into it. This has to be my favorite device of 2024, and I'll tell you why. Let's have a little look at the design first of all. So to give it justice, I had to do a real close-up video for you guys because this just is, first of all, this cutout for the camera looks quite extreme. If you look at it sideways on, it looks like it juts out quite a lot, but in actual fact, you don't really notice it. It has very, very smooth sloping edges, which basically means that it's a very progressive camera bump. And the camera really does stick out quite a lot, but you really don't notice it when it's in your pocket, even less so with the case, and we'll get to the case in a minute. But I just love the way these edges, which are flattened on each side, but it's just rounded off so nicely. It's an incredibly well-engineered camera bump. I absolutely love it. Now add to that, this has laser etching on the crease here, or should I say on the hinge cover. This is the hinge cover of the device, and this only features on this, what they call red-brown color. They haven't really thought about that very much, but it literally is a red-brown color. It's not quite as red as I thought it was going to be, but I love it. And this featured material is kind of like rose gold on the edging here. Now this is metal and it's laser etched. I don't know if you can see that design. There you can see the coloring really, really well. But as a design feature, that by itself is such a sweet touch. It really is absolutely awesome. Then we've got the vegan leather on the back, which is just really, really nice, super practical, because of course it does mean that you've got grip. So you've got grip, it can be a slippy phone, but because it's got the vegan leather, it's not a fingerprint magnet, and you're going to be able to actually hold on to it quite comfortably as well. So it is absolutely gorgeous just to look at this device in terms of its design. Now, not including the sheer fact that the thickness, and we've covered all the dimensions and so on and so forth, the thickness of this device is the same as an iPhone 15 Max, which is just crazy, absolutely crazy. The fact that you've got, to give you an idea, the USB-C port is basically the thickness of each side of this device. So it is just unreal. And of course, I haven't even opened it out just yet, but in the hand, brilliant. It's got an infrared blaster, which is not always essential, but super handy to have if you ever lose your TV remote or your AC remote. It comes in really, really handy indeed. The other part that I love, of course, is that this panel, which of course is 120 Hertz, and it can go up and down in its refresh rate. So you're going to be saving on battery. It is absolutely brilliant. And of course, you've got that incredible screen when you open it out. So this front screen is completely usable all day long, and when you want to open it up for a train journey, like sitting in bed, watching a YouTube video, watching a movie, anything you want, you've got that option of expansion. But this is completely usable, so I can get through the whole day using this device just on the front screen and not even realize that I have a foldable device. And then when I want to, I can open it out to this gorgeous panel to look at photos or Instagram or things I want to look at in larger detail. And you can see this image behind, I actually took with this camera, and it is really, really crispy. It is a fantastically clear image, and I just love the camera quality as well. So I was a bit worried, and foldables have got a history of being quite weak when it comes to quality cameras, but I've been really impressed with this camera, particularly in good light and in bright exposure situations. This is brilliant. So the design is brilliant. The engineering is unreal. The battery life is fantastic based on just how very, very skinny this beautiful thing is. The fingerprint reader as well, just a quick mention, very, very quick, really, really fast. works every time, super duper reliable. So for security, brilliant. And of course you do have Face ID there as well. So it is absolutely brilliant to hold in the hand and to use. And of course, what you get bundled in inside the box is you do get a protective case. So I often have this on, which also protects the hinge, and you get a kickstand as well. So just the thought that has gone into it is absolutely brilliant, and the value for money. Now, it is expensive. I got this on the best price I could find, which was just over 1,600 euros, which is absolutely bonkers still, but we're getting there. We're getting to the point where these phones are absolutely premium, but the pricing is still really, really high. But I do really, really like this case. Look at the detail on the inside of that case. They've just taken the time to design it, make it unique. This is almost like a piece of artwork to me. It really, really is absolutely fantastic. And this is held up really, really well. I've been using this for nearly 3 weeks now. I had to get it. If you've seen my other videos, you'll have seen that I had it in the green color, but I had to get it in this rose gold or red brown as they call it. And I absolutely love it. It is plastic, of course, but it's durable, it's strong, and it's not shown any signs of wear whatsoever. So I really, really like that this is bundled inside the box, and it's exactly the same. It's color matched perfectly with that, and it does look really, really good. So let's get into the downsides of this fantastic device. First of all, the screen protector that they provide for you is pretty poor quality. So you can change. They do say that changing the front screen is feasible when changing the screen protector. As you can see, within a day or two, I got that bobble there. Now, I didn't do anything in particular to do that. It just suddenly appeared, and I've tried squashing it away and it just won't go. So I do not understand why that's there. It's not the end of the world. I could easily take off this screen protector and put on another one. But this is a fingerprint monster. And trying to get rid of them actually is quite tricky to do. I don't know if you can see them on there, but it is very hard to do. And where that gets worse and where you can't make any changes is on the inside, because you cannot peel off this screen protector. This will void the warranty if you try and take this screen protector off, and it does get pretty smudgy. You can see there are marks. I've tried to clean it. I've used alcohol wipes as well, and it kind of works. I'm not using the best materials to do it, but I am using a microfiber cloth as well. And it just doesn't necessarily clean as well as it could do. And this inner screen is very, very important. Now, when the screen triggers, as you can see, you can't see anything. I mean, there's no big deal there. You really can't see too much of the fingerprints, but it is annoying and it's a bit smudgy. And if that could be improved, then that would be advisable. If you've got advice for that, specifically for this device, then put it in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'm sure other viewers would as well. But this inner screen protector is a magnet, and it's not that great at cleaning, so it is a little bit of a shame. But this is a minor gripe. It really is. Now the crease down the middle, as you can see, if you angle the light correctly, I mean, look at that. You would barely notice that. This is just a marvel of engineering. It really is. When you're using it, you don't feel it, you don't see it. You tend not to work through the middle of the page anyway. So you're working on this side. If you're holding it up this way, of course, you might come across it, but even the keyboard for so on is down here. So the crease is really not a thing. So that is absolutely brilliant. Now, where this has fallen down a little bit again, in terms of quality, is with the cameras in low light situations. If the light starts to dim even just a little bit, I'm not saying like really dark, but in low light situations, you definitely start to get a heavy amount of cartoonish effects on the camera images that come out. So there's a heavy amount of processing going on, and you can definitely see that it's struggling with low light. I'm not quite sure why, because these cameras are really good. But in low light situations, or as the light starts to come down, it does get quite a lot weaker, even with the main cameras. The forward-facing cameras are very much acceptable. You can do 4K recording on all of the cameras, including the front one, and even the inner camera as well. You can do 4K recording, so it is really good quality, or in terms of the resolution. But the end product can be a little bit variable, especially if the light starts to go down. If you've got good light, you're going to have excellent videography and photography from this phone, which I really, really like. Really, I am scratching at the very, very edges of my complaints with this phone, but even if you are looking for zoom quality, this has 100 times zoom in the camera, which is very, very cool, but usability is maxed out at around 30, sometimes 50. I'll put some examples, but it really isn't going to give you very much clarity with regard to 100% zoom. So this is the forward-facing camera on the front screen of the Honor V3, and I have to say, it is still very, very good. Now let's compare that to the inner screen of the V3 and see if it's just as good. So now we're using the inside camera of the V3. So this is also a high megapixel camera, and as you can see, the quality really doesn't dip much. Perhaps a little bit of stability has gone, but we're filming in 4K 30 FPS, but we've got some tricky light situations with a lot of light behind me. Let's see if the dynamic range manages that. It's focusing on me really, really well, but that is really quite impressive. If I change that, obviously it darkens me and focuses on that incredible sunrise. And then in finale, I'm now using the rear camera. Now, from my perspective, it looks like the colors are a lot more poppy. They're a lot richer in color. There's a lot less washed out. The image quality of my face and, of course, this sunrise here is much more equally balanced. It's extremely rich in color. In fact, it looks a little too detailed in my opinion, because I look really tired as it's a little early. But otherwise, I have to say, I do love the quality of this camera on the Honor V3, which really is a flagship device and a flagship camera. What do you think? What is really, really good is you're going to get some very high quality images, and you can really, really appreciate the richness of the colors, both looking at the screen as well as when you take them off here as well. As you can see, it's already covered in fingerprints just from doing this as well. So this is a real magnet for fingerprints. So if you've been following the channel for any period of time, you will know that this device is absolutely my favorite one of the year so far. And we've tested some amazing devices from Samsung, from Honor themselves, from Xiaomi as well, but this device encompasses everything that I love about modern tech, pushing the boundaries, brilliant engineering, and just absolute gorgeous design as well. And it really is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous design, as well as being actually functional and a really good device as well. So I cannot recommend this device enough. My only gripe, aside from the ones I've already mentioned, is the price. The price is massive. So don't push yourself out there to get this device. The price will drop. It's guaranteed to drop in 2025, especially as they come out with potentially the V4, which we haven't heard anything about, but I'm sure there will be a V4. But this really is a fantastic device. So if you're getting it for yourself or you're thinking of buying it as a gift, please put a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. If what you're thinking about this device is the same as mine, then I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Very happy New Year, and bye-bye for now.